Hello there, it's your friend Phil, Project Management Trainer and Coach. Thank you for coming aboard the course PMP Exam Prep Camp. To log in to the system, follow the link in your email, enter your credentials, and log in. After logging into the system, you'll see the various courses that have been assigned to you. Click on the first course, which is the PMP Certification Process. Clicking on that will open up lectures that are available to you under this particular module. Let's click on the first one and see what's in here. The first one is getting started as a registered user on PMI's website, and this will lead to a series of other videos. If you let all the videos play, so let's click on that, you can see there are various videos here that talk about getting started as a registered user and ultimately completing your PMP application form. If you go back to the list of videos, you have another video, complete your PMP exam application now. Clicking on that opens up another video that further explains how to complete your application, how to break down your hours into the 5 process groups, and also a few tips on how to wordsmith your application. And the final video here is a video about how to use the resources in the Praizion course. And this goes into details about the 2020 vision quizzes and more. So I advise that you watch that video to understand the cycle of events leading up to your PMP exam success. So that's all for course 0. Let's go back to my courses. Another course that has been assigned to you will be the PMP Exam Prep Camp 2017 course. Click on that. It opens up lectures from chapter 1 all the way to chapter 14 and a quiz at the end, which is called the Praizion PMP mock exam, which is a 4-hour exam. So the eligibility requirements to get your certificate of completion is to go through the content, and we would like to see a 70% or greater on all of these quizzes. So you can see the quiz comes after the chapter. We would like to see a 70% or greater on those, and also on the final mock exam. Okay? So let me open up the first chapter 1, and this is really a combination of audio and video. So you'll see video, in some instances you'll hear the audio, and in some instances you'll see a picture or chart or graph. You always want to make sure that your magnifying glass in Chrome is set to the default. So I'm going to click on chapter 1, and it's going to open up the module Introduction to Project Management. It will always ask, would you like to resume where you left off? If no, click no. Go to the first slide in this deck. Now it's a combination of audio and video, and that will take us back to the list of lectures. So that was chapter 1. After chapter 1, next you want to go to the chapter 1 quiz. And the quiz has a different look and feel to it. They have this blue background. Click on Start, and you see a question type that is not going to be on the real exam. This is fill in the blanks. No, you don't get this on the real exam. We only include this for variety's sake as you go through the content at first. The real exam will have questions more like this. Question and 4 options. Only one of those options is the best option. So 4 options, choose 1. Also, there is no true or false on the actual PMP exam. We only put this in to make it a little bit more interesting. Okay. We also do not have select all that apply like this on the real PMP exam. So If you come across some of these on our quizzes, just be aware on the real exam, you will not have select all that apply. Also on our quizzes, we have a drag and drop or drag and join feature just to make it more interesting. Again, this feature will not be on the actual exam that you'll be taking. You'll have a question that is more like this. Here's a question. Here are 4 options. Choose one. Okay. When you get done answering all the questions, you want to hit submit all. It will let you know that the questions you've not answered. If you don't want to proceed, go back and look for the questions that you've not answered. So I'm going to say no, and I'll click on my table of contents button, and now I can see, if you look really carefully, I'm going to make the screen a bit bigger here. You can see question 1 is bold and question 2 is not as bold in the table of contents numbering. The reason is after you answer a question, the bold feature goes away. So question 1, if I were to answer question 1 with anything, moving to question 3, question 1 is no longer as bold as it was before because I've answered. If I answer question 3 and move on, again, you can see question 3 is no longer as bold. So those are a few things that you should be aware of as you go through the quiz. When you finish answering all the questions for real, hit submit all. And you've got a review function that you can use to review what you got right and what you didn't get right. You also have, as you can see, the rationale behind the question's answer, why you got the question right or not. Okay, so let's close out of this. We always close out on the right hand side using the X button. Click close, and that will close out the module or the quiz you're on. And that will take you back to the original page with all of the quizzes and the modules. The Praizion PMP mock exam works pretty much the same way, only that you've got 200 questions to answer in 4 hours. It's like the real exam in that you can take a break if you want, but we expect you to take it in a closed book fashion. Totally closed book for all of these quizzes. Don't open the PMBOK guide, don't open your study guide, and in that way you get the best results. When you do it in a closed book fashion, it tells you the truth and you end up knowing where exactly you are in the process. Okay, let's click on my courses again and I'll show you what to do after you get done with the PMP exam prep camp 2017. So by the time you get here and you pass the mock exam, you probably will be on your final run studying for the real thing, probably with a few days or weeks. Now, there are a few things that we will assign you to as well that you can use after you're done with the initial course. One of those is the PMP labs, and it's very similar to the Wheel of Fortune game, and it's just fun to play. We also have a bank of questions called the PMP Knowledge Area Mastermind, which a lot of students have complained about, but after they get certified, they say, thank goodness we took those mastermind questions. They were long and they were difficult, but it helped prepare us for the real exam. Another bank I would highly recommend that you take after you get done with the initial course is called PMP 2020 Vision Quizzes. And these quizzes are students swear by them. Students get 5 proficients, 4 proficients, 3 proficients. They say these 2020 vision quizzes helped them to get proficiencies in many of the areas because they're very difficult and challenging, even more challenging than the quizzes that you face in the PMP exam prep camp. Maybe even more difficult than the quizzes on many of our mock exams. So I would say look out for the 2020 vision quizzes and be ready to take those when you get done with the course. And lastly, I would also recommend the Knowledge Area Test 2 bank. This is another good bank for you to kick the tires and make sure you understand the core content in the PMBOK guide. Okay. Now, I'd like to show you a calendar, study calendar, or timetable in an MS project. If you're looking at getting certified, you might want to consider using a timetable similar to this that has guidance for number of days to spend on a chapter, and then you finally get to the end of the 14 chapters and you don't take the mock exam just then. Actually take the CAP-M mock and see where you stand with that, because that should be very straightforward for you. After that, we recommend the PMP mini mock exam, which is another mock exam. And if you don't have access to this in your initial email, because an initial email was sent and it should have that link, if it doesn't, let us know. We'll get you set up with the PMP mini mock exam. Take that and then move on to doing some full revision, drawing out page 61 in the PMBOK guide, which you're going to become familiar with, studying all PMBOK guide data flows for the 47 processes, and then the 2020 vision quizzes I talked about. Those are very important. And then the final mock exam. By the time you get to the final mock exam, we will truly know if you're ready or not. And that's the timetable. I would recommend download it and modify it as you wish, but definitely stick to a timetable. It will help you. Okay? So going back to the website, that pretty much is it for the PMP exam prep camp course. If you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to send us an email, ask a question. Also remember that we have our Friday lunch and learns, and you have probably been invited, so check your email, show up for these meetings, and let's do this together all the way to the finish line. In closing, I would like to remind you that there are different choices for this course, everywhere from 7 days to 180 days. Those students who purchased the 1 month, 3 month, and 6 month options, be aware that you have additional content available to you. If you purchase the 1 month, then you have a hard copy version of Project Management Essentials. If you are not in the EU or the US, then you get a soft copy of that book instead of a hard copy. Now, for the 90 days, in addition to the hard copy of that book, you get PMP exam flashcards, PDF, for the tools and techniques that will help you very rapidly go through and test yourself and see what you need to improve on. The same for the 6 month. And then we also have the Project Management Audio Digest for both the 3 and the 6 month. 18 hours of fantastic instruction that you can put on your phone, on your smartphone. Study on the go and on the move. Now, only available to the 6 month folks, we have various MP4s, the Project Management Data Flows MP4, PMP Exam Power Review MP4, Project Management Mini Bootcamp MP4, and also a 30-minute series of one-on-one mentoring and coaching. The 6 month option has all of those bells and whistles, so make sure that you use what you paid for. If you got this package, any of these packages, know what's in them and make sure you take advantage of those. Those could greatly help you on the exam. Okay? I wish you all the best. Thank you for your audience, and I look forward to seeing you as a PMP. Bye for now.